5-star.
Oh my God, those teeth would have got fixed so much like that. It would have been no problem at all. Ladies and gentlemen, host of Bussin' with the Boys, founder of Bussin' with the Boys, also has a dad podcast because he is a incredibly proud father. Obviously, he got ripped off of year 10, I believe, by the NFL. Supposed to be a 10-year NFL vet. Nobody would have expected that whenever he was coming out of Nebraska. Ladies and gentlemen, absolute dog, Will Compton. How you doing, dude?
Pat, thank you for the introduction. Boys, it's great to be here. It's game day. We made it.
Yes, we did. We did. That is the overwhelming sense that we have over here as well. This morning, brushing teeth just felt a little different. Like, we got actual ball here. Now, I couldn't even imagine West Virginia playing tonight would have that would be a perfect way to kind of launch this. I assume you're very excited. Year 3 for Rhule. There's a chance here for Nebraska to go on a run. The boys, from what I'm hearing, look good over there.
Look good. Pat, this will be, I'm telling you now, boys, I'm telling you, we got a favorable schedule. No matter how you think of the Huskers, this is year 3 of the Rhule era, year 2 for Dylan Rhule, Dana Holgerson on the sideline full-time. This is going to be the first double-digit win season since Willy C senior year in 2012. You can book it. You heard it here right now. I'm just letting you know. I can feel it. It's in the air, and it starts tonight against Cincinnati.
Okay, it's in Arrowhead, obviously. Travis Kelce going to be there for Cincy. We assume. We're just assuming he's going to be there. That's his house. Now, if he's there, hold the phone.
Yeah.
Who else is there? Are you worried about that for Nebraska? I mean, that feels like there is potentially an aura coming into Arrowhead that is highly swinging in Cincinnati's favor. Have you thought about that, Will?
You know, when he got engaged, I texted him. I said, hats off to you, trying to distract the world from this ass whooping that's coming on Thursday night. From what I'm hearing, the missus won't be there.
Okay.
So it won't take over the entire world. But yes, I am a little nervous about the aura of Travis Kelce walking in that stadium. But again, this is about the Huskers. This is about the Bearcats. This is about stopping. I think it's Thorsby. They got a little dual threat quarterback.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, it's coming tonight. I swear to God, I feel it. I feel it.
Matt Rhule can give all the speeches he wants to give. Taylor Swift walks in there in a Cincinnati shirt. Cook. Now, I like Raiola. I like E-Money, your running back. I met him at a WWE event. Great moxie. Feels like the offensive line's going to be good. I'm excited for you guys. Beefy. Okay, we got good beefy boys out there. Always Nebraska. Shout out. Can we talk about the announcement about you and ESPN today before the boys have their questions for you? Congratulations, man. This is an awesome thing. Like, legit, we are very happy for you guys. How does this come about, and what does this mean?
Dude, it's surreal, bro. Like, it still doesn't, Pat, I remember talking to you, we FaceTimed when Bussin' with the Boys kicked off, and you were giving me a lot of game on the podcast world and how to operate. And at that point, I want to say I was telling you, hey, I think we're going to go through the summer with pods and then stop during football season because you get really nervous about how the teams might feel being a distraction. I was still a free agent. Is this going to keep me out of playing in the NFL? And I just remember you telling me you have to treat your audience like it is your best friend. And if you're going to show up for them once a week, you show up for them once a week. My recommendation to you, young Willy C, would be if you're going to do it once a week, then do it once a week throughout the entire year or as long as you guys can. And you're giving me game on the merchandise and everything else. And just to think back to that moment and get all the way here to now we are on the team with you at ESPN. This is a true story. I pissed the bed until I was 14 years old. And before I fell asleep every night, before I violently wet the bed, I would fall asleep to ESPN. ESPN, nostalgically for everybody, ESPN is also the previous channel when you're rocking Skinamax and you need that fallback in case your mom and dad walk in. Yeah. It was Sports Center in top 10. Yeah. And now to get to appear on it and to be part of the brand, it is We're grateful, man. We are truly fired up.
Well, we're proud of you, both for stopping the pissing in the bed problem. Once you get to 14, you think that's probably a lifetime thing.
Yeah.
You know, I think that is probably a lifetime moment. And also for all the hard work that you guys have put in. You guys have grinded over there. Mad respect, especially as ex-players trying to represent for football on a platform that you had to create. You should be proud of yourself, man. Every time I watched you guys, I knew you were special. And obviously, you don't have to be a genius to be able to see what's good and what isn't good. But it was immediate upon watching you and Taylor. It's like, this is a good show. You have the juice. Taylor is such a good smartass and super handsome. And I think he's got a little bit of a thing with blackjack and gambling. You guys maybe check on him. But hey, that is, I follow along from outside looking in.
Hey, I do the same thing. I just say, "Are you sure?" And he's like, "I'm ready to go to war." I'm like, "Listen, you got to do your thing."
That's a lot of money, Taylor. That's a lot. Dana is a dog. He's been kicked out of a lot of places. He's got a title and everything like that. But that's him. I don't know. Is your brain okay? I don't know. The luck too, Dana. But nonetheless, you guys have worked your asses off. We're proud of you, and we're pumped you're going to be representing on ESPN. Good luck out there. We're proud of you, Will.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, boys.
No problem. All right, we got some questions for you. Go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, Will, you talked about stopping Sorsby tonight, and those black shirts on that Nebraska defense have basically been carrying the team the last 2 years. And I got no issues with the offense with Holgorsen and Raiola year two. I think they're going to be much better. But, you know, you lost your defense coordinator, Tony White. He goes down to Florida State. You lose a couple polar bears off that defensive line. Are the black shirts going to be the black shirts this year?
Tone, that's my biggest, you know, that's what I'm most excited to see tonight is how the defense is going to perform, because you're right, like losing Tony White, not just Tony White too, but a couple other guys on the defensive staff, Terrence Knight and T. Knight, he went with them down to Florida State. That was a massive loss because they have been a top 25 defense the last couple of years. But there's a lot of optimism talking about rotations with these young cats, guys being able to play all across the line of scrimmage. I believe the linebacker's name is Javin Smith, 6'5", 230 pounds. I'm excited to see him run around. We do have a veteran group on the back end in the secondary, but that is kind of my, like, I'm not worried about the offense either. I'm just excited to see who's going to step up on the black shirt side, because everybody's wondering what are they going to be like. Well, you said it, those polar bears in the middle. So that's what I'm looking for.
They got any young Willy C's out there? They got any some white trash kids flying around throwing their heads in?
You know they do. You know they do, but you know who's going to step up and be that? I'm out here congratulating you. Got John Bullock down, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, undrafted cat, walk on to the University of Nebraska, earning his stripes as a senior, making a camp with the Bucs, and he's on the 53-man roster with Levante Davis.
That's what we like. That's what we like.
Yes, undrafted linebacker U is what Nebraska is. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm excited.
That's not good.
Hold on.
That's
could be.
We can't
not good. Not good. But
put it on a shirt.
It's about overachieving.
Undrafted LBU.
Yep, sweet.
Nebraska. That's awesome. The black shirt's a great nickname, though.
Yes.
For an entire crew, you know, and it's like seemingly always good. And then that being the question mark, I think is good news if you're a Nebraska fan. Now, let's move to the NFL. Obviously, you should have had a double-digit year career, and it's a damn shame. It's a damn shame that all that happened. Your last year was really your best, I think. You know, you looked your fastest. You looked your fastest.
So funny.
You looked your fastest. So I think you were right. I think maybe 11 and 12 would have been in there, but you found your true calling. Ty, I have a question for you.
Yeah, Will, now that you are on ESPN, I'm excited to get your take on the Micah Parsons situation. This would be your first documented one, I believe. If you're Micah, and, you know, you're hearing, hey, the Packers, they want to trade for you. They got 45 per year for, you know, who knows, maybe even 50 per year.
Who's he hearing that from? Just you, or have the Packers said this?
Listen, it's out there.
Okay.
It's out there, okay? It's not just me. What is your take on that whole situation? Not like Shoddy thinks he's, you know, maybe going to play, but he doesn't know because he hasn't practiced or done anything all of training camp. Jerry is kind of hesitant to talk to other teams. Like, how do you think that whole situation is going to play out?
Brother, listen, we just said we were undrafted linebacker U. This is a position and a player where I've never gotten to experience that world. I'm sitting on my couch throughout the week watching this America's Team documentary and just seeing everything that Jerry Jones goes through, the pride that he has. I feel like he enjoys this game that is happening. You see my man going out there on different podcasts. He's doing a little press tour, going out there and kind of peacocking and letting the young man of Micah Parsons know they got him for 3 more years. If I'm Micah, I have no clue. Like, I would have too much anxiety like sitting on the couch, kind of waiting for the season to unfold, leveraging everything. Am I in shape? Am I not in shape? Can I go? If I wait too long and then go out there the day of, like, I'm going to have to prove myself right and everybody else right that what I'm doing is the right thing. And if you fail or if you get injured or if you do anything else that isn't up to that expectation, it's going to be you're proving the Cowboys and everybody else right. I have too much anxiety thinking about it. I have no clue what's going to happen. I do hope Micah Parsons gets paid because he is an absolute dog for the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, sure.
But I don't know. I know Jerry loves this game, is what I've gathered from what I've watched. Jerry Jones is in the pocket right now, and this is where he wants to be with Micah Parsons. And I think he respects Micah. I think he respects what Micah's doing.
I think he probably respects him, but he's also, I don't think there's any budging happening. You know, like, the narrative is that the Green Bay Packers are in. Okay, and they will go. And the $45 million thing, Ty said that very confidently yesterday on the show. And then Schneidman came on from The Athletic for the Green Bay Packers. He's like, there's an offer on the table that is very favorable, basically, or there has been, but Jerry isn't listening. The way Ty Schmidt is turning that is Jerry isn't ready to listen yet. Like, there's going to come a time that Jerry's going to listen. I think they're just going to continue to dance. Micah ends up playing. Is that what you think the final outcome is?
I think he ends up playing. I think it's like this YouTube and Fox thing going on where, hey, are we going to get the games on Friday? Are they going to not let us watch Baylor Auburn on Friday night? And then all of a sudden somebody's hand gets pushed, and then like 2 hours before Ohio State and Texas kicks off, it's going to come to life. I think at some point it's going to come to life. Hey, Ty, I hope it's for the Packers, because I think like there's a part of you too that's like, is Micah just over the whole thing, and maybe he just wants to get out of that situation? Because I don't think the Cowboys are going to be that great this year. I don't think they're going to be very good.
What? Why? You don't think Dak's good? You don't like Shoddy? You don't think Shoddy's a guy? Eberflus, D coordinator, back where he's supposed to be, probably.
I think there's just too much going on, as always, around the Cowboys. I think they got a lot of talent. I like Flus on the defensive side. I don't know how Shoddy's going to be as a head coach, and him just being in this circus right now, I just don't know how it plays out, especially with the Commanders up north, with the Philadelphia Eagles up north. I think they're going to both be better than the Cowboys.
And the Giants.
Yeah, Giants.
The Giants.
Giants have some.
Forgot. We got to cover all the teams. The Giants have some good pieces out there.
Malik Neighbors.
They're not going to be a bunch of candy asses this year.
Yeah, Malik Neighbors, he can catch a ball.
Yeah, he can.
He can catch a ball like Jackson Dart.
He's unbelievable. Schrags came on and was like, Terry McLaurin isn't really in Malik Neighbors tier, but he's there. Is that really how you guys feel? I did not know that's how Giants fans feel. It is like Malik Neighbors is a guy. Like, I'm not saying he's not a guy. Terry McLaurin will be.
Long time.
Yeah,
he's
been a guy.
That is a guy. That is a guy you're looking for. Happy they got that deal done. Trey Hendrickson, happy he got his deal done too. The boys have been attacking Trey a little bit.
Yeah.
The boys he got $14 million more in 1 year, and the boys are like, soft. This guy rolled
that's
over.
just because we know that's not
because it is.
He got $14 million more dollars.
The whole thing. You want to know what it really is? It's that it started here on the program.
So you're saying
talking to you.
We don't have enough motion.
We've been riding this thing from day one, rooting for him.
All we're saying is, yes, $14 million for this 1 year is awesome. But he said that's not what he wanted. He wanted multiple years.
That's
he
where
wanted
it started.
2 or 3
That was
years.
negotiation.
He didn't want 1 year.
Folded like a lawn chair.
No, he was in there fighting.
And they treated him like an asshole for 7 months publicly.
They did. At some point, these players need to just accept the deal that's on the table. They said that.
They said
Exactly.
that. Yeah.
But he went back there, golf clothes.
Yep.
Shook hands, talked to the press. So I want to be here.
And accepted the deal on the table.
Yeah.
No, they upped it. Yeah. He got more. They were offering $5 million more. I did not hear that as a
He said we knew.
He won the negotiation a little bit. Definitely.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
He walked in there and Mike Brown said we knew you.
It's like the 10th highest paid DN. He was
Oh,
He said, come here, Trey. Why don't you
Sorry,
sit
Will.
on-
Sorry,
you
Will.
sit
This is
on
a thing that's been
Papa's lap?
happening off air a lot.
First time it was brought to.
Yeah, so we just brought that on air. You just saw an off-air conversation happening on air. The boys fed up with Trey.
Hey, Trey, guess what? We'll see you next year, too.
Okay, all right. See, this is what they did.
Kneel, Trey.
Come on, boys.
He got $14 million more dollars, and these guys, what is that?
He deserves 20. That's why.
We agree. I think you're doing this from a position of love.
Yeah.
for
Exactly.
Trey.
Correct.
It always is.
But you're attacking him pretty good. You're pretty.
Sometimes
Yeah,
a little bit.
Tough love.
insulting him a little bit, but it's got to be done.
Trying to help him.
What do you think about Trey Hendrickson's situation? Will you think $14 million more bucks for a guy is good news, or do you think he definitely deserved more? And if he was maybe just a little bit more of an asshole,
Wait a couple more
it
weeks.
might have got accomplished. But he just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
He literally just couldn't do it, I think.
Again, like Pat, it's like this. I'm assuming the self-talk in his head, this game that's going on. He was playing it well. He was posturing. He's at OTAs, training camp. He's talking to the media, throwing it back at the Bengals, posturing up. And at the end of the day, once they start hurting your pockets a little bit, and you start thinking of not only hurting the pockets but hurting the team, like the Bengals, if they have some sort of defense this year, they can be nice. You got Joe Burrow, who, in my opinion. Listen, when he's healthy, he's the best QB in the game. And when you have that potential, you got Steelers that are coming. You got the Ravens that are built for success always. And when you're just sitting there as a player, it's like there's a lot of selfishness to where it's like you got to do what's best for you. You got to play the game as long as you can play the game. But there's always that team aspect that's just eating at your head. And at some point, it's like, who's going to break here? And, if the boys are saying he broke, he walked in, he signed the dotted line for $14 million more dollars, and that's a loss, then okay, that's a good loss. That's a good way to lose the line.
That's a good loss.
That's a good day to take that particular loss. I appreciate Will Compton, ESPN analyst, founder of Bussin' with the Boys, says Joe Burrow is best quarterback in NFL when healthy. That is what you said there. That is going to get out there. You believe that? There's a lot.
Yes.
There's a lot of quarterbacks out there. I believe Joe Burrow definitely in the. I'm not doing the who's the best game because that's a nightmare for a Daily Show host. But in the pantheon, would definitely put Joe Burrow up there. He got paid as such, and we all love watching him. You just said outright though, this is the best guy in the league. Why do you think that? And who is, I guess, second? Would that be Mahomes, Lamar, Josh,
Jalen?
That's a great question, Pat.
Danny Dimes.
That's a great question, Pat. I like Joe B just because you hear just everybody talk about this, man, whether it's coordinators, coaches. It's like you're not really game planning Joe Burrow. You can't game plan Joe Burrow. I want to say, who was the player that came out? I was like, oh, you can game plan Josh Allen. You can't game plan Joe Burrow. He wasn't like taking a shot at Josh, but he was trying to explain it in the way that's like, when Joe's firing, his brain, his mind is just in a different stratosphere. I'm not saying the other boys aren't smart enough to play football, Pat. I'm just saying when Joe Burrow is operating, you see what he does when he has zero defense. Got weapons on the outside, O-line that sometimes blocks for him, but if they can get it in gear, Joey B is slinging the rock better than anybody in the league. Patrick Mahomes, he's the baby goat. Josh Allen, he's an absolute stud who
Lamar.
is the reigning MVP. Lamar Jackson, multiple-time MVP. They're all studs.
Dimes.
Danny Dimes.
Yeah, Danny Dimes. Danny Dimes out in the Indy.
Why do you laugh?
But I love...
This ain't jokey time, bud. Let's do quarterback analysis, please.
We're going Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. He's throwing Danny Dimes on there.
We don't know.
Athletes.
We don't know here at the Indianapolis Colts regime, but I understand what you're saying. That is a little disrespectful to the other guys for what they have accomplished thus far. I do apologize.
Just so you know, Will, it was Joe's teammate Jamar Chase that said that about the game planning thing.
I was gonna say that, but again, once I was in the flow, I was like, let me not just try and throw this name at the wall here. Again, daily television. I gotta be on my P's and Q's out here.
No.
Oh, brother. So you're always gonna be corrected, even if you're right. So
Exactly.
There's nothing you can do about it. But I appreciate that about Joe and Burrow. I don't think a lot of people are saying that. Because that sounds like reminiscent of like Peyton. Like that was Peyton's thing. Like, yeah, he knows what you're doing, and brain-wise, he is just so far ahead of everybody. The amount of preparation that it takes to get to that point that Joey B's doing is absurd. Like, that is just how he has to operate, so I respect that. And I don't think there's a lot of people going to bat for Joe Burrow being the best quarterback in the NFL on a regular basis.
No.
So,
yeah,
welcome.
And that was a great comparison with Peyton Manning. I don't know how many times I lost my voice at the lunch table in high school trying to argue Peyton Manning over Tom Brady until it's just like you couldn't anymore because of all the Super Bowls. But that's a great comparison. You're not game planning. You're not doing anything against Peyton Manning that's going to be successful other than like you hope something works out against that man. And I feel like it's the same with Joe B.
The timing was always the issue. If you could get a good jam and mess up the timing route, right? Like that was kind of what I think Bill started doing.
Yeah, that's when they changed the rule because they kept crying.
Okay. All right, let's go. That is not.
That's a fact.
Listen, if you're lobbying for your team to benefit for something and it works, good on you.
Yeah.
Patriots fans should not be saying anything about people doing things to get better as a team.
That's yes, we can.
Oh yeah,
yes,
that's a fact.
I mean, proven witch hunt against us was Deflategate. Proven.
What about the other gate and the other gate and the other gate and the other gate?
Once again, those were legal in terms of rules.
That's why all the other people were just like, "Hey,
exactly.
Let's not be looking too far at it."
Then when looked at, they're like, "Oh, but New England's doing it, so we gotta do something to them, kind of try and strike down the empire."
Well,
but it lasted 20 years.
Hey, when you're on top of the mountain for 20 years, people are going to try to attack you. And once again, all football people, whenever they heard about everything that New England did, were like, let's not get too crazy. Let's not be investigating too much here. Let's move along here. Well, we got to burn the tapes, right? Okay, burn the tapes.
Whatever.
Yeah. Let's move along, burn the bridges. Let's stay in New England, though. Yeah. Obviously, somebody you know very well. Go ahead, Con.
Yeah, well, you were up there in New England. I believe you were trying to interview Vrabel. He told you no, and I also just want to pass on my thoughts on it. If you didn't Vrabel as a whole.
You did not deserve that.
Hey, look, I'm just throwing that out there on behalf of people who are Patriots fans in New England. But when you're looking at Vrabel, Stretch just did a entire interview with Ari Mirov, and Stretch is, Vrabel's Ernie Adams, basically about how Vrabel is a football savant. He's got the McVay recall, but you never really hear about that, publicly because Vrabel, looks like a big meathead. What can you tell us about Mike Vrabel you think that most people don't know? And how do you think the Patriots will do in his first year?
Most people know that he's a good asshole.
Yes.
I would say what Vrabel does, in my opinion, that it's a thing that set him apart from other coaches that I played for, is Vrabel does a great job every week. You're going to hear three keys come up a lot. And there's three keys on offense, there's three keys on defense, and there's three keys on special teams. Teams do that, teams have that. But the way Vrabel paints a picture for how you're going to win a football game, where it feels like your back's against the wall and everybody's counting you out, and he's throwing clips up of your team performing it in practice or executing in practice, or throwback clips of yourself executing it back in the day, or stuff around the league that says, hey, here's how we are going to affect this game and here's how we have to win this game. The way he does that, because you have a team meeting every morning to kick off the day, Vrabel does a very good job of clearly painting the picture of how you're going to win the football game. And there's no deviating from that. You're going to get your ass checked every day through practice film when you deviate from that, or when you're doing your own thing. This is why we say this is why we say that, and he shows you in front of the entire team. So what Vrabel does so well that I feel like no other coaches did that I played for, that you're kind of oh shit, he's right. He gets guys motivated this way. He paints a clear picture for how you're going to win a football game, and then when it happens, he sits there and brags about it and talks about, hey, this is why we did this, this is why we did that. 14 years, what do I know? But he is, man. He's a leader of men. And all eyes are on him when you're in that room and your asshole's tight. But he paints a picture for how you're going to win a football game.
When he's putting his hands on people, that's a part of the whole thing, right? That's a part of the whole thing for him. He has to be the alpha in the room. And people need to know he's the alpha. Literally, when I met him in person for the first time at that golf outing out in the American Century thing in Tahoe, he walks through the tent and he sees me and AJ. I just got done walking 18 holes for the second time in my life. The first time was the day before. Mm-hmm. My feet were all, it was terrible. I was rather high. I was on a different stratosphere maybe. Probably pretty boozed up if I had to guess.
Certainly.
We had a good time out there.
Yeah, fireballing AJ.
Oh yeah, you just got fireballed. Yeah, he got fireballed. Yeah, it was a good time. We were having a blast. He comes walking through. You feel his aura as he hits the tent, And he just got done walking 18 holes as well, and he's 250, 260 pounds. But he's going to no-sell that. Nobody's allowed to see any weakness. And he comes walking straight over to us, and I see his big-ass mitt literally flying like it was a left hook. And I'm like, oh, he's about to check me right now. He's about to hit my arm, and he's going to check me. I was tired. I was a little bit high. Sue me, don't actually.
Mm-hmm.
I was a little boozed up.
It's California.
But I knew in that moment, he is checking me right now. I flex as hard as I can, lean into it, and I think there's a good stalemate right there, right? Mm-hmm. But he wrapped his entire hand around my shoulder, and I was like, this guy's an animal. This guy is an absolute animal. And I felt like I had to when you're in a room with a pit bull, And pit bull get these bad rap. I have a pit bull. Pit bulls are like the greatest dogs of all time. But if you're around one of these dogs and they sense that you're scared, they're gonna mess with you. Like that's what it is.
Yeah.
Vrabel is very much a guy. Like if he senses is there anything in this guy, he's gonna attack. I feel like, and I think that is why his leadership style is so good. He's the guy he's in the locker room still, I think, if I'm watching accurately. The way he talks, the way you guys interact with him, the way he operates, he's still player in locker room, but he's obviously coach and obviously in charge. Is that an accurate depiction of his leadership style? Is that something you think?
Spot on. A time where you might feel like there could be any separation from the locker room and a head coach. He's got the ability as the head coach to banter with you, bust your balls, break your spirit to where you're kind of like, yeah, I kind of have to listen to him. And the dude is like, I sent Stretch a screenshot of when they got that fight in training camp.
Yeah.
Because you had the video, and Vrabel just, it's like coaches don't want fighting to happen. Vrabel likes to act like he does.
Oh no!
Oh, that's a
He's on the
dead
bus.
bomb in there.
You're on the bus. You're on the bus.
Did you guys get me? Did you lose me?
No, you said Vrabes likes to act like he doesn't like the fights, and then
Vrabel likes to pretend as a coach we don't want any fights happening. But once that fight breaks out, he's like, you just said it, a pit bull. He wants to be in the mix. He wants to be yelling like it shouldn't happen, but he also wants to let the boys know at the bottom of the pile that it's still his pile. I sent Stretch a screenshot and like, hey, get him, Stretch, because Stretch kind of moseyed in there and then kind of backed away. He wasn't about that life, but that is Vrabel to a T, man. He's just got the ability to still get on that player level with you, and he still has that respect and leadership as a player and also as a coach.
yeah, and his
You see Stretch back there?
which one Stretch?
Stretch, you go to the beginning.
There.
He's a tall guy in that gray shirt, white hat. Tall guy, yeah. Gray shirt, white hat. Look at him, stepping away.
Come on, Vrabes. Come on, we can't be in the fight, man. Hey, how about him coming out bleeding?
Yeah.
In the entirety? It's like a whole new era up there in New England. Patriots fans, he's gone. The bus.
The bus, yeah.
The bus.
It might need to get that checked out.
Might have been sharing too much game on Vrabel.
Yeah, it might have been. Excuse me, stop talking about it. He said we got rats in the building. Here's one right now on ESPN.
They do have that machine up there that shuts everything down and creates weather.
Yeah, and the weather, yeah.
Then they built a thing above it to show everybody where it stands.
And then they started deflating the balls.
No. Remember, that was a witch hunt in 2014. When it happened, they started testing the balls the next. They deflate a little.
Turns out science has been saying this for a while. Yeah, but a little bit more than the others.
Yeah.
Joining us from the bus, ladies and gentlemen, Will Compton. How's it going?
Good. Did I get lost? I came back. I don't know what happened.
I don't know if you got lost.
But you just said joining us, Will Compton. I was like, hang on, am I watching a replay? Is a replay about to happen? I'm back watching the boys.
No, you just lost connection there, right? Did that happen on yours? On our side, a disconnected screen popped up. You were gone. We lost service. Yes.
Oh, gotcha. I was trying to break down Stretch in that fight, but maybe the boys didn't hear me. And then the phone just hung up.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Lost service.
So that's why I introduced you back.
First phone call?
You were kind of gone there.
I'm back.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Yes, you. Yes, you are, Will. Yes, you are. And on that note, Will, thanks for joining us today. That was awesome. Hey, very happy for your success. Legit. Tonight, you want to pick these two games tonight?
Nebraska minus 6.5.
How about Boise State and USF?
USF.
Ooh.
Okay.
I like USF as the underdog.
Tough trip down there.
Okay. You think these are going to be high scores, or you think it's going to be kind of a cagey affair between these two? Early in the season, do offenses have it figured out?
I like points in the Huskers Cincy game. Again, I think Sorsby being a dual threat guy, he could cause problems for any defense. And again, it being a young Nebraska defense, I don't think it starts catching momentum until the second half. I like a high-scoring game for the Huskers Cincy. Boise USF, don't know much about. No, Ashton Genty is not there anymore. I feel like Boise's just a logo and a name. They're going down to South Florida. and playing in that heat. So that's why I like USF. But again, 61.5, that's a high scoring game. But that's not, look, I watch Big Ten football, I watch SEC, and I dabble in the Big 12 and ACC a little bit. But outside of that, I ain't tuned in to the Boise States of the world.
Well, you should. They're always good for a reason, dude. Like, it's not obviously Ashton Genty was a big deal, but they got a good program up there.
Yeah,
they really love it. Chuck Pagano has, I think he lives up there.
Yeah.
And he talks about the commitment, the ball that they have. So I think Boise State's always going to be good, especially with the opportunity that they have now with the college football playoff and how much money it is. But USF out the gate is not an easy. That's not an easy week one when you don't even know what your team is.
No, Boise basically returns everyone, including quarterback Maddox Matson, except for Ashton Genty. So that's why they're projected to make the playoff. But no, like going down to USF in that heat, coming from Boise.
In that heat.
Idaho gets
and you know USF,
At 5,
Idaho gets hot now.
What'd you say?
USF has got some, they
Athletes.
got the athletes.
They
got the guys.
They used to, when we would play them, West Virginia would go down there. It was like we should beat it. In theory, everybody thinks we're going to beat this team, but then you look at their D line; they all ran like 4.5s, 4.6s.
Yeah.
Like the whole D line ran. Linebackers, all of them 4.4 or better, like way before. And it's like, how is this team not like very, 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 very good? And it's like, well, who knows about USF setup with the funding and everything like that.
You also know how much fun South Florida can be.
Yeah. Yep.
A lot of distractions down
a
there.
lot of distractions. All right, we appreciate the hell out of you. Well, congrats on everything. You and Taylor and the whole team over there.
Thank you, boys. Love you. See you Saturday.
You too.